Jeez, this feels like a set for some sort of horror movie from the 80s or early to mid 90s. You know, that's something that's always bothered me about a lot of these like, not just horror films, but like especially like sort of kid and teen horror films. It's not like Hocus Pocus where, oh, a bunch of witches have taken over a small rural town. All the adults are, you know, cast under some spell and the plucky kids need to save the day. And none of the plucky kids go, all right, so we're gonna raid all our parents' closets. We're pulling all the guns out of the closets because their parents don't use gun safes. And we're at least gonna attempt to shoot the witches with real guns. For the sake of the story, it's like maybe the witches are immune to firearms, whatever. But, you know, any kid in this town, some monstrous supernatural force was controlling the minds of the adults, they'd be grabbing all the guns, all their parents' guns. They'd be grabbing they'd be going and trying to get the guns of the police, getting tools out of their parents' garage, breaking into squad cars, just their parents' guns alone. I mean, it's like the kids would attempt to shoot whatever it was. It wouldn't be like, oh, I've got my baseball bat, and I've got my special hockey stick, and oh, I've got my super soaker that I filled up with something or other or whatever. No. Especially a town like this, I mean, if kids were going to be using super soakers, they'd be filling them up with like gasoline or ether and taping like propane torch to the front to turn them into flamethrowers. You better hope that you're some evil entity controlling the minds of the adults out here, that you're immune to conventional weapons, because the kids would just shoot you. It wouldn't last long. I mean, even if you don't get killed by it, the kids would shoot you so much that you get like a witch that's a mortal witch that can't be killed with gunfire, would just get torn up so much they'd blast her into about 100 pieces, part her up, and seal the pieces in different boxes. Wouldn't be a big deal. The kids would take care of it. And that's true for even a New England town. It's like every third house has unsecured guns in the closet. It's the United States. Good, bad, right, or wrong. Anyways, I remember watching Drake's, that movie with the like evil giant talking ducks that like kill humans and like squish them and turn them into tea or whatever. And all I could think was like, man, if that was happening, like, I grew up in suburban Portland. Like, I'm not talking about like growing up like here in Montana or something. I grew up in suburban Portland. If giant evil ducks were coming through some portal trying to murder people and turn them into tea, and the adults wouldn't believe you, you better believe kids would be grabbing their parents' guns out of their closet, because there still were plenty of those, and be shooting those ducks, blowing their heads off. I mean, I grew up in an affluent part of suburban Portland, so you'd have parents that have like really ridiculous bougie things like side-by-side elephant guns chambered in stuff like 416 Rigby. Shoot one of those stupid human tea making duck things, and like entry wound like this big and exit wound like the size of a basketball. They wouldn't do well. They wouldn't last long. I mean, that's what you should do to evil anthropomorphic ducks that turn humans into tea. And that was cool fun.